Hello, welcome back again. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of these. I've been busy sorting out the convivial, sorting out some new courses getting up and running, and you know, obviously it's getting to that Christmas time of year, so everything just starts to get very busy. Anyway, I've got a few of these videos that I want to get out to try and complete this look we've been having at Savate. We've been looking a lot at the hand techniques and some of the kicks, and really I want to do a couple more on the kicks and then another video at the end just looking particularly at some of the footwork. And that will give you most of the techniques that we use for Savate. So the one that I'm going to talk about today is the Coup de BAF, which is one of my favourite kicks. So if I can have Michael for a second. And the idea is that the Coup de BAF is a coup de pied, it's a sort of slice of the foot on a low level. The BAF is indicating the low level. So what I'm actually going to do in this one is from my back leg, I'm going to swing my leg through into my opponent's shin. Now I can use this in multiple different ways. One way that I can use it quite effectively is I can actually use it as a dodge and stopping my opponent at the same time. So if my opponent decides to come in with a straight jab, there's obviously this option I've got to bend this back leg, move myself out the way so that I'm out of range, and as the fist goes back, I can kind of follow that in with my next attack. I can do the same motion by swinging the leg forward. Boom. So my head still moves out of the way, but I'm still now also getting that tap against the leg, which if he's coming in with an attack, can be enough to stop him, keeps me out of range and stops him advancing any closer, or it can just lead to damage. So there's multiple ways I can do the actual foot section of it. One option is to actually place the pad of my foot on my opponent's shin. So I'm not trying to hurt him, I'm just, as he steps forward, just trying to stop him getting any closer. He's getting really sick of getting kicked in the shin now. He's been a great sport about it. Other option is I can use the instep of my shoe, because again we don't do this barefoot, this is normally in boots, to kick in to my opponent's shin here, which is just causing a lot of sharp damage. In fact, after that, if I choose to, once I've made contact, I can purr and run my instep right the way down the front of his shin to step on his foot, which is obviously causes a lot more pain. So if I cause pain here, cause more pain than stamp on the foot, all of his attention is down here, which is great for me to then come in looking for a high attack, something on a high line, now that his attention is very much down. I can also change the angle that I want to do this at. I can kick up so that I'm actually knocking the kneecap up onto my opponent's shin, up onto my opponent's thigh, not his shin. I'm actually knock it up onto his shin, the anatomy's gone wrong. So knock the kneecap up. Very disabling, it's going to take a lot to recover from that. If I want to be even worse, I'm just going to kick and dive through. So I'm actually going to make contact with the front of the kneecap and step through. It's just going to blow out the ACL, the back of the ankle, all of the tendons and stuff holding everything together are all going to get messed up. You're unlikely to walk the same again, ever again. So it's quite a terminal technique, and also why I'm not actually doing it and demonstrating it. So I've got a lot of different options with just this little movement of the foot here. It also works quite well, so if I can just move you around for visibility a little bit. So if I step offline, if an attack's coming in, if I step offline, I've now got an angle directly to my opponent's knee where I can turn the leg and collapse my opponent with that same kick. I can look to do other options. I'm going to switch back again just so that I can also do things such as if a punch comes in, I can take my slip to the inside to keep me offline, and then again, I've got that option to come through to that back kneecap. So again, it's very good for just destabilizing my opponent. If I then want to move into grappling, he's off balance. If I want to just keep hitting him, he's off balance, his guard's probably down, and I've got that opening. So there's multiple different ways I can use it. If I want to feel really limber, especially against a tall opponent, you can also do a coup de pied med. So rather than coming in at the bas line, which is kind of the kneecap, I'll be coming in at the waist. So what I'm doing here is, as my opponent moves in, there's kind of a crease where my opponent's leg meets the body, and if I hit that, the body moves and collapses because there's no other option. So what I can do is use this same kick as my opponent comes in to collapse his whole body out of the way. Yeah? So it's really a good way, if somebody is being quite aggressive at coming in, you can actually just stop them being able to physically keep moving forward. So it's a good way of controlling your opponent. So it's a nice little technique and well worth adding into the arsenal of stuff that we're going to be looking at. So next week we're going to have a look at the side kick, which is your utility, does everything but takes the most amount of energy, but we'll be covering that next week. So hopefully you found this kick useful, and we'll add it in with all the others, as I said, when we do that kind of roundup at the end. Okay, take care and we'll catch you next week.